Michelle. Call the meeting order. Thanks everybody for coming this evening.
You changed your mind.
I think this is a special. Just give it quiet down. This is a very heavy.
Give the hammer again.
This is a special night because this is a night when we set aside a little time to do something different and recognize the people who have volunteered and really stepped up for our community this year. And it's also our last meeting of the year. Our next one will be in January. And because of the fact that we have more than normal here, I'm going to start over here, and we'd like to, let's just say your name and whereabouts you live. So Matt, you start off.
Matthew Chase, I live on the corner of Oak and Haynesville with the trees with the tree swings.
Fred Leckwitz, Oak and Hickory.
I'm Sam Yingling, I'm the Avon Township Supervisor.
And I'm Tom Brust, the Avon Township Highway Commissioner.
Diane Kula, the little dead end Lake Shore Drive. Kathy Ruback, Haynesville Road, across from the old roller rink.
Enid Anton, I'm at the corner of Lilac and Oak, right across from where Larry used to live, across from Chick Park.
Yeah, I'm Case Joniolo. I also live on the dead end with the dead end kids here at Lake Street on the old Shea House, which is now called the Stoniolo House.
I have nothing to say.
I'm Nancy Dorsch and I live with Don Dorsch.
I'm happy to hear that.
Poor guy.
You're bad.
Travis Haley, live in Grays Lake behind the old high school.
Ron Sigeman, I live in the dead end on South Circle.
Okay, dead end kids here.
Yeah. Joe Bugalki, I own the house on Lilac in between Oak and Washington.
Lakeside Drive for a few more days.
April Samuels, I'm with.
You live in his house?
Yes, we live in his house.
Yeah, part of the rent contract.
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks for coming, and let's, instead of doing a roll, let's come around and introduce ourselves too, if you would, Darren.
Darren Ruback, I'm in charge of communications.
Don Dorsch, North Shore, rep.
John
Charge of nothing. The insurance man.
John Bradkey, North Shore Rep.
Ron Jensen, I'm secretary. I also run the Carp Fest and the website and do just about everything else.
Yeah.
I live on Hickory Avenue.
He's an inspiration to me. I'm Larry Leafblad, president.
In Bidwell, I safeguard your dollars.
John Sonnenberg, North Circle Rep.
Bob Shore, East Shore.
Pat Green, East Shore.
Marilyn Henry, South Shore on Washington Street.
And when I think about the Shea House, it reminds me that that Fran Imsandi, who's actually Fran Shea Imsandi, lost her husband on Wednesday, George, and so you might remember her in your prayers. We've had a lot of loss this year, a lot of dramatic things happening, and it's wonderful that we have a community to come together like this. Okay, so that would take care of the roll call, right? Let's do the minutes, please. For those of you who have had a chance to see the minutes, excellent job by Ron. Is there any additions or changes or anything? Okay.
I just have one question. We didn't approve the financials, the expenditures and financials, you know, the total. Looking of the budget sheets from last meeting, we did cover the expenditures. You know, we approved that and made some additions to moving around some money. But I don't know if that matters or not, or if we just...
Well, why don't we just do this? Let's do a retroactive on the treasurer's report back to what meant last month. Okay. Thanks. Okay. All in favor signify. First of all, you need a motion from Don, and a second from John. And any questions or comments? Okay. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. I want to step up to the awards table and award some people. But before we do that, I want to say to the people who are here who, like Diane Kula, who was recognized last year, and Mark Rosemeyer, who was recognized last year, Kathy DeGros, Marie Cavanis, our neighbor Bob, who fell at home the other day and is not able to be here. Andy, okay, I think we gave you a golden donut or something like that last March, just for the fun of it. And Bob Rosemeyer, who celebrated his 90th, I think it was, birthday, that we recognized in the February meeting that we had at the Haynesville Village Hall. But we have tonight some awards that I would like to pass out. And just to say some things about the people, you know, I have a philosophy that is the human behavior that gets recognized gets repeated. And so it doesn't take much, sometimes just a pat on the back. But very often you don't see how grateful your community really is. And it's up to us as really kind of the nerve center of our neighborhood to really keep that in front. So that, you know, you have people, and you just really hope that you're not forgetting people who are deserving of these awards. So first of all, I would like to recognize Ron Sigmund. Ron, who has it kind of gives me goosebumps because Ron and I were next door neighbors for what, 23 years probably. And he never threw anything at me, and I never cussed at him. That's a good relationship. Yes, pretty close. But he has always had next to his heart the health of this lake and the fishery. And I'll never forget, as long as I live, when he was out aquascaping, let's call that, okay? So he was out about maybe 50 yards offshore doing like this, and he was going down and putting desirable plants in the lake. I think we had removed a bunch of them. But he's aquascaping. I said, looks like something I saw in Vietnam. Of course, I wasn't in Vietnam. But Ron, we really appreciate, particularly this last load of fish that you bartered for us and got that done. And we'd like to present you with a little award here.
But whatever I do, I don't do alone. I always get a lot of help. A lot of help from these people.
We also have Enid and I go back to the radio business. That's why I talk like this. But Enid, come on. We had worked on some goals in her dream house, and we ended up. She ended up living outside of my driveway. You know, but I didn't mind that at all. But this is a very caring.
He told me he was in the upstairs with binoculars. I haven't
Well,
heard this.
I have to admit that's right.
You told me that. I told Diane.
But I want you to know that she has been the driving force behind the Highland Lake Good Neighbors. And a wonderful idea and a wonderful person, and we'd like to present this to you.
Thank you very much.
And I love this one because the last time we gave you guys an award, it was something like the Crystal Donut, or I forget what it was.
Spark plug.
But there you go. Yeah, I found a spark plug in a tool drawer, so I put a bow on it. I said he was a spark plug of some of the good stuff we've been doing. But Andy and Case Dorniolo, they live in Park Ridge. They have a house on our lake, and they're hardly could be a larger contributor to this past year. And I'm going to give this to you, Kay, because I give the spark plug. No! Mike Kalsrup isn't here, but talk about a wonderful asset, I'll tell you. Hopefully he'll be here. And then, you know, we had, if you read the highlights, you know, we had a pretty rough storm. And there was one guy with a chainsaw going nuts, even probably as much as you guys were doing with the township. And I walked up to his wife one day and I said, Jenny, so where'd you find that guy? He's a miracle. And she said, I know. Matt Chase, thanks for what you did. let's see, and Hector. Oh, boy. If you had had a right-hand guy, there he was, in those horrible storms. But Hector has become really kind of like Highland Lake's handyman. And just recently, he moved to Quail Creek. And so we've got to figure out a way to get him back over to Highland Lake when we need him. He's got the cutest son on earth, and he's been a wonderful volunteer and a great guy. Hector Flores, here you go.
Thank you.
And I got a gift card for Bass Pro. Anyway. But last year we recognized Mark, but this year Mark Rosemeyer did a ton of work on the raft, and we're not done with it yet either. But just he couldn't be here tonight. But just so you know, this is Mark's. And
Can I accept that, Larry, for him?
no.
Don't worry, I'll give it to him.
I just want to draw attention to this one too. This is a separate and above from an award that we're giving to Leonard Dane, who is retiring from the Lake County Health Department Lakes Management Division. And he's been so helpful, particularly in these last couple of years. We've been really working on, you know, the fine tuning and getting the health of the lake working right. And so we'll give this to him, and I'll pass it on to Ron. But Leonard is a major player.
Let's give him a hand, even though he's not here. He's done a lot.
And I'm sorry that Jim Osgard isn't here. But what we're doing, we have Distinguished Service Awards, which recognizes the service, distinguished service in this year. But for Jim Osgard, for the love of Pete, he's been mowing the park and all those different things and keeping that old tractor work. I went over there once when I was canvassing about 3 or 4 years ago, and he's going, you know, I mean, I think it's a 1949 International or something like that. But we're gonna give this to Jim. I'm sorry that he isn't here tonight, but Jim Osgard, our first of 3 Distinguished Service Awards right here. And then here's the guy who says to me today, "What am I getting an award for?" And I said, "None of your damn business." I tell you, you know, I mean, I got to tell a story because Don and I go back a long way. And I can remember him saying to me 2 years ago, he said, "Larry, what are you going to do with that thing?" And I said, "We're going to communicate." Didn't I say that? Yeah, right. And because I had heard, "Well, Darsh, he's quitting. Nobody's going to stay with you." You know. But he stuck with us, and he's a major player. He's come through the muck of the pathway deal, and we're not done with it yet either. And he also has been a major contributor, and he provided the buffet. So for
Don't
that,
forget the Easter bunny.
The heck with you, I'll go with Nancy.
see, the food gets the biggest.
Thanks, Phil.
It's the same thing
Photo
with
or
Andy's
not,
cake.
I don't care.
Hey, don't forget the Easter bunny, Larry.
Oh, yeah.
That's most important.
Well, here, we'll give you this.
No, I'll still take that to Mark, I promise.
And then the final, but certainly not the least of the annual awards, goes to a guy who was, to us, up until the time I had a chance to meet him after his house burned, and he was over there working on his house. And I'm looking at the remarkable work that he's done that Michelle and you guys live in right now. And Michelle, right? April.
That's okay.
I'll be all right tomorrow.
I like Michelle too.
Too many signatures. But he was doing this remarkable job of bringing this little dollhouse back. And then I find out that the guy's a pretty neat guy. You know, went to Grace Lake High School, you know, hung around with my sister and stuff like that. And then when we were out putting up the signs in our park, who's the guy with the tractor and the 12-inch bit, you know, to drill those holes? He was there for us. And then he just basically adopted our park. And our, you know, the Downey Park has always had Jim Osgard and Diane helping. But we never had that going here with the exception of neighbor Bob, who would just run around with his tractor. So Joe Bagalki, I want to thank you very much for your distinguished service to Highland Lake.
Wow.
And this last is not necessarily an annual award, but it's an award that needs to be given because we've had many people in this organization who have gone on to their reward, so to speak, and I can name 5 or 6 of them, who never got recognized for really sacrificing what they had to do to make this a neighborhood the way it is. And without even any discussion, the 2010 Lifetime Achievement Award is going to go to Harry Kierkegaard. I just feel like God has given him to us for just a little while longer, so we can physically recognize him. So we don't have to say, "Damn, I wish we'd have recognized him." You know, so he's up there in Liberty Lakes. Victory Lakes, yeah, Victory Lakes. He's doing well. Don, last time you saw him, he was walking around.
He wasn't walking, but he was, he was still getting therapy for his legs, but his upper body was completely.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Jerry, his wife, to find out when we can get a few of us to go up there and present this to Harry, our Lifetime Achievement Award guy. So let's give it to Harry. Round of applause. It's a wonderful community to live in, and it's getting better all the time. I want to add to the agenda right now. We have our township officials with us. So before we get into our business, I want to introduce both Sam Bingley, Township Supervisor, and Road Commissioner Tom Brust. Sam, the floor is yours, or whatever.
Go ahead. We just, we like to do an occasional check-in with the community to find out if there's anything that the community needs that the township is not providing for, or could provide better for. Obviously, our point person in the community is Tom Brust, the highway commissioner. So I just wanted to open the floor and find out, is there anything that the community needs, would like to see that is currently not being provided for? Yes, sir.
A truck full of hundreds?
Well, get in line behind me.
Because then
Rough crowd, baby.
Right, I know, exactly.
Well, we need it, we need it.
I'm curious about the water garden that's supposed to be going in at
I was gonna
Chipper.
speak on that.
Okay.
Come on up, Tom,
Okay.
don't be shy.
The rain gardens did go out to bid. Unfortunately, there was only one came back, and I feel that we can go forward and rebid it again in January. The plants wouldn't have been planted till then anyways. It would have just been the construction of it. We still got the grant money, but this way we can get a better price and hopefully a bigger bang for the buck that we're gonna be spending instead of just being stuck with one bidder. So that's really all I have for you, other than we're ready for the snow season and not really looking forward to it. Hopefully it'll all come down as rain and it'll save some costs. And other than that, that's it. That's all. Unless you guys have anything for me.
I'd like to know if you guys are the ones to talk to about that water's penetration.
Yeah, Larry's been in touch with me, and I've already been in touch with the county. That's the county's responsibility. They need to get more, according to the county, they need to have more residual water coming out of there, and so they can test it and determine where it's coming from. I did make I told them already that that was a brand new road last year, and they've already interfered it, with it at 2 spots. And now, just as I was talking to Larry today, it's not weeping.
No, of course, no.
I know, and we're not sure where it's coming from. We are monitoring it daily though, and once we can determine what it is, we'll have the county or whoever's responsibility it is to fix it, take care of it. But we will monitor it daily, especially with the cold coming, so there's no icing issue.
Exactly.
For safety. So that's it.
Tom, I saw they're auctioning off the old rink land.
Yeah.
And is the township doing anything with the land they own there, or?
The land, no, we're not doing nothing with it right now, but holding it until we can find someone to give us the value of it. As far as going into the auction, Sam was just informing me that it would be hard. We'd have to get a board meeting prior, and the time frame's just not going to coincide in order to have a cap on how much we would spend on it in order to get into the bidding process.
Because that's the only legal easement too.
Yes, it is, although there is a back easement where right behind that property there, that's Round Lake Parks, and there's a right-of-way there. Possibly could develop that instead of, that's something to look into in the future, because if without the roller rinks entrance, you'd have to basically put in a right turn lane, and, you know, you're talking $500,000-$600,000 easy, you know, just to make it accessible. Or the other property, the house that, the gentleman, I guess, is now not selling, he had it up for sale, and now it's not for sale, so
It's
that.
amazing when little 400,000 wouldn't hurt at all, you know. Let me suggest, and it's one of the things that we were talking before before the lakeside development went into Round Lake Park on the lakefront. I'm old enough to remember Surfside. You guys weren't even born then. But that was a big dance hall down in there, and it was a big open space. And at that time, I talked to the Round Lake Area Park District about acquiring that. There was questions about Indian mounds and all kinds of stuff. But I'm thinking, maybe we can work out some kind of a deal, or at least put a bug in somebody's ear with the Round Lake Area Park District about that available land, and get it to its intention, and get it to its original intention, you know, so.
Right. We would, you know, if it would be beneficial for both sides, we have no problem entering into a governmental agreement like that, you know.
Just for the fun of it, because are you guys trying to unload it?
You know, I think this is the situation is we're in, is I think there was about $650,000 paid for the property, and as you all know, with the collapse of the real estate market, the township would be lucky if they got about half of that. So the thought, I mean, to basically lose $300,000 taxpayer money on the land just, is really not an option. So in terms of partnership, we had talked to the park district, I think maybe a year ago or so, and had discussed about exploring a possibility of partnership with them. And at that time, the thought process was that they didn't want to have that standalone park there, and they didn't feel as though it would fit into their long-term strategy and goals.
Yeah.
So, but that was, about a year ago, I think. So, maybe the sentiment has now changed.
You know, our concern, like Sam stated, was recouping the taxpayers' money. Is recouping the taxpayers' money, instead of just handing it over to somebody and losing, Without the collapse of the economy, it would be a viable property right now. So unfortunately, it's not at this point.
Okay.
But we still have it in our maintaining.
That's right.
Any other questions we can answer for anyone? Any other concerns?
Keep those mosquitoes out of our yards tomorrow.
Oh, we're
Thank you.
Almost a losing battle. Thanks for coming, guys.
Well, thanks so much. And again, any thoughts, let us know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
Take care.
Well, that brings us to president's report. The only thing I have some things that.
Talked about that.
Brandon, I was asking you to